name is Hope Steinke Hughes, and I was asked to give a summary of the pastors that I've known and worked with since becoming a member in 1954. From Reverend Pertner, who was our founding father, right through today, 69 years. The first pastor that I knew was Reverend Louis Pertner. He made it his mission to knock on doors in the Ferndale area, inviting people to come to Zion Evangelical Lutheran Church at Albany and Woodward. Our family had recently moved into Ferndale and were looking for a Lutheran church. This was in 1954. We were Lutherans and members of Brunkill, Manitoba Lutheran Church. Reverend Pertner knocked on our door, talked with my father for a long time. My father was a Bible scholar and really appreciated the conversations that he had with Reverend Pertner. The church had grown from 8 people in 1923 to over 600 in 1954 when we started coming. Quite an accomplishment with a door-knocking pastor. The Sunday school was so large that we needed to build an education wing in 1958. We had 2 Sunday schools, one with the usual Sunday school time and one during the church service. Both were full to capacity, different teachers for all the grades. Reverend Pertner was a real stickler for rules. He didn't appreciate children in church. I think maybe that was why we had 2 Sunday school times. My father thought children should be in church, so the 5 of us were in church with our parents, being very quiet. There were times when Reverend Pertner asked a parent to take out the crying baby or the misbehaving toddler. Catechism was on Saturday mornings until lunchtime. Reverend Pertner teaching and Mrs. Pertner sitting in the back keeping order. There were so many of us that we behaved so as not to get smacked in the back of the head by the lady in the back. He retired in 1959 but remained a member until his death in 1970. In 1957, Pastor James Fox was called to be an assistant pastor. After Reverend Pertner retired in 1959, Pastor Fox was called to be senior pastor, until 1964, when he accepted a call to Wauseon, Ohio. He and his wife, Mary Ann, were young and fun. He was an excellent speaker, and he and his wife both sang in the choir. One of the new things that he initiated was the Luther League newspaper. Several of us Leaguers were reporters and editors, etc. We had a large Luther League, so there was a lot of stories to cover and news for the group to share. This was a highlight for me. I loved working on the newspaper. Pastor Fox was a barber before he was a pastor, so he would cut hair in his office for anyone who needed a haircut and couldn't afford it. I had my haircut in his office many times. Zion called Pastor George Halstead in 1965. He came to us from the Missouri Synod, and he was in business before that. Many people did not like his style and left the church. He was all for being the boss. We had the council, but nothing passed until Pastor Halstead agreed. Pastor Halstead initiated a half-hour radio program where he would preach a sermon, and our choir recorded an anthem every week for the program. He also started having 2 church services every Sunday. The choir sang during the 11 o'clock service, but not at the 8 o'clock. Sunday school was in between the 2 services at 9:30. Pastor Halstead also initiated an after-school program for children on Wednesdays. The children were served dinner as well as having religion classes, and he named it a School of Religion. The kitchen was brought up to code since we were preparing and serving dinner. We had approximately 100 children every week. It was quite a success. Pastor Dean Peterson came to us as an intern under Pastor Halstead and was called to be our assistant pastor in 1968. He and his wife Karen were very young and well liked by everyone, but especially the young people. He was so young looking that when I had my first baby in December of 1968, the hospital would not let him in to see me. He had to go home and put on his collar to prove he was our pastor. We laughed about that for several years. Pastor Peterson left in 1974 after receiving a call to Oak Forest, Illinois. And Pastor Halstead left in 1976 to go back into the business world in Wales, Wisconsin. In the meantime, we had several interns. I don't think I can remember all of their names because they would be with us only for a year. We had Dean Peterson, Terry Cromwell, another Peterson. He was a redhead, but I can't remember his first name. McGee and John Muhlendyke. We were without a pastor for 5 months and finally called Pastor Paul Gateman in 1977. I think everyone loved him from the start. He had a wife, Eve, and 2 very young children. He was a wonderful preacher and Bible study teacher. The youth loved the fun that he made out of everything. He started a children's sermon during the service, which all of the little people enjoyed and looked forward to. He was a helper in many ways, helping the homeless with clothes, food, lodging, pocket money, rides, etc. He helped parishioners with rides, mowing their lawns, snow shoveling, etc. He even picked me up once from the hospital when I was discharged from surgery while Alan was out of town. He was truly one of the helpers, as Mr. Rogers would say. We called Pastor John Muhlendyke to be pastor in 2005. Pastor Muhlendyke brought a fresh look at the Bible and worship, and during this time there was a committee doing the work to have our congregation be a reconciled in Christ congregation. It was later renamed Reconciling in Christ. The committee consisted of Megan Hughes, Mary Ellen Frisch, and etc. I apologize for leaving anyone out. I just can't remember all of the members. This was a huge undertaking, but well worth it. Quite a few people left because they just didn't agree with the decision. I personally think it was a great move. I think we have grown as a congregation in our duty to act justly, to love mercy, and walk humbly with our God.
Amen.
This was from Micah 6:8. In my opinion, becoming reconciling in Christ is the biggest and best thing that Zion Lutheran Church has done in the 100 years that we have served the community of Ferndale, Michigan. Excuse me. Dr. Muhlendyke retired in 2013, and licensed minister Walter Jackson served as worship and visitation minister until his death in 2014. Pastor Gateman retired in 2017 and served as pastor emeritus till his death in 2021. We called Pastor Matthew Bodie in 2018. He fits right in with our ministry. He is very well received. We have several new families, great participation in activities, committees, etc. He has a laid-back style, yet is an authority and mentor. He is an excellent preacher, inspiring us to do better as a Christian congregation. This was all my own opinion, having been a confirmed member, enthusiastic worker in many categories and committees over the years since 1955. I have not been a bystander, but I have worked with all of these pastors and appreciated all of them for what they brought to the table. I have sat in all of their offices for work and meaningful conversations, and I'm so grateful to have known them all. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Why do you feel blessed by Zion?
The biggest blessing at Zion are the people. They are wonderful, very caring, very welcoming, and anyone who comes here would say the same thing.
That's wonderful. How long have you been here?
I've been here since '71, so I think that's 52 years.
Oh my goodness.
I've been singing in the choir since 1977, and doing various jobs around here in the past 52 years. And now am working on something new.
See, there's always something new you can do to help the church.
That's right.
What would you like to see Zion doing in the future? Anything?
I think in the future we have to continue to search out and see who's available in the community, to draw them in, to broaden our ministry, and bring people into the Lutheran Church.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Tracy, what drew you to Zion?
Well, first off, I was very pleased with the box. I love the box and how welcoming the church is to children and how they're included as part of the service. And I love the music ministry at this church.
That's wonderful. And do you have any hopes for Zion's future?
I think we need to stay focused on those things, to keep our people involved and do things that keep them coming back.
Wow. And I just want you to know that the music ministry has been blessed by you.
Thank you. I really enjoy being in the choir, and I'm thankful that I finally decided to do it one day.
Did you feel welcome in the choir?
Absolutely.
Sounds like you were trepidatious at first.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I could do it, and hadn't sung in a choir for many years, but our choir director made it very good, Jamie Hughes at the time, and I love it.
Now, tell me about your journey in the choir.
Well, I started out being nervous about doing it, but then Seal Smith sat with me and ran scales, and she said, "Oh, you can do this," and it gave me the courage to join. And I realized that when you're in a choir, you don't have to be a soloist to matter.
Yes.
So I thought that's awesome that I can participate and not be so great.
Right. And I see music as ministry. Do you?
Oh, I do.
And
I get a lot
how?
out of singing the hymns and the anthems and listening to the prelude and all of that. It really matters a lot to me.
How did you first learn about Zion?
Oh, well, I came here for yoga. My class at the Birmingham Community House had moved here, and I decided after class one day to come look at the sanctuary at a time when I was looking for a church, and I decided to come here. And I really think the space is a beautiful space for worship, and I loved Pastor Gateman. He remembered my name the second time I came back, and I thought, wow, I was shocked. And everyone here was so welcoming, and I just kept coming back after that.
Had you tried other churches?
I did, and it was kind of sad that at some of these churches, people looked at me like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And I felt really uncomfortable, but never here. I always felt welcomed here.
And now you get to be one of the people who makes other people feel welcome here.
I sure hope I do, because it's
I think
important.
you do. I think you do.
Thank you, Seal.
Hey, Hunter, what do you like about Zion Lutheran Church?
I like that our family has found their community.
Wow. What drew you to this place as a community?
We came because not everybody looks like us, not everybody is like us, and they think the way we do.
Wonderful. What would you like to see happening in the future?
I would like to see my kids more involved. I would like to see them grow with the church and help with some of the projects.
Well, you've been very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Hello, everybody. This is Jim Luttrell, and I'm so sorry that I can't be there with you tonight, but I'm right now sitting on a beach in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, celebrating my upcoming 50th birthday in November. Half of what Zion is celebrating tonight of being 100. So I apologize I can't be there, but I'm there with you in spirit. I was asked to share why I chose Zion, and it's a very simple story of when I moved to Michigan 16 years ago from Missouri. I was ready to give up on church. I was raised in the Missouri Synod, that it was not acceptable to be who I was, a gay person. And I was ready to give up on church until I found Zion. And I walked in those doors. I'll never forget it. Those of you remember Mary Helen Carper grabbed me first. Well, she didn't grab me. She put her arms around me and welcomed me in. And then the second I saw Pastor Paul preach, I said, I'm home. And then the rest is history. I am now the chair of the finance committee, the head of the tech, whatever we're calling that. And I'm one of the assisting ministers as well. And I've been blessed over and over by this church and you all in my church family. So Pastor Paul was the first pastor I'd ever told that I was gay. And I'll never forget that. So that's why I chose Zion and continue to serve in Zion. What do I feel that Zion's mission is? Well, I believe that it's a place of complete inclusion, to share the message of what Jesus did for us and what he wants to do for us, and to spread that message in the community and support our surrounding community every way possible. And I think that's the most simple way to put what our mission is. And how do I see Zion's future unfolding? Well, we're celebrating our 100-year anniversary tonight, and I believe that with the right support from all of us, that we'll be a healthy and thriving church for the next 100 years and grow in all of our ministries, whether that be music, to boost that up, our online presence with the technology and as that evolves and what that means, and our community support with things like the food pantry and any other community need that rises up, we will be there for. So I really believe that's what our future is. So everybody, enjoy the night. Celebrate, and happy 100th birthday to Zion Lutheran Church, Ferndale.
I'm trying to find out what, with our 100th birthday coming along, what draws people to Zion. Can you give me any particulars in your case?
For me, I think it was a few different things. First off, I love the bell choir.
Yes.
I played a lot back where I was before, so I was happy to see, it took me 3 or 4 different churches before I found a bell choir, and at least with the ELCA, so very happy to find one in the area. And when I first walked in, I was greeted very well. I had a 5-minute conversation with somebody, which was incredibly appreciated, just of like a, welcome, we want you here. Here's a bulletin. Do you go to church often? Where are you from? Do we know anybody in common? Which was just fantastic. And then sitting just in the pews before everything started, there was talking. There was just a lot of noise, a lot of people having a good time seeing each other. That's how you know you're in a good place.
That's wonderful. And I know that you've jumped in and become part of our ministry.
So obviously playing bells, and then Sunday school. There was a need for some teachers there, and I've worked with kids before, so I thought I can give it a shot. So now I'm teaching the older kids.
We are thrilled to have you do that. Do you have any hopes for where we should go with Zion?
As a younger person, I'd love to see some more younger people here,
Good.
Of course, and always happy to see the kids here too, so if I can pull for the things that I'm involved with, so we'll say that.
Wow, well, we are thrilled to have you here, and just so everyone knows as they're listening, how much of a veteran of you are bell choir play? How many years?
11 or 12 now?
Wow.
Yeah, something up there.
We had a new bell choir member join, and she said, how long has he been playing? Yes. How long are you a veteran of working with kids, like Sunday school situations?
You know, here and there with the original church, but one of my summers in college, I
Really?
did summer camp. So you have to get good quick when you're out in the woods.
When you're out in the woods,
Yeah.
I love it. Was it the age group you're working with now?
Yeah, more or less 4, 6, roughly
Okay.
that range. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here.
Glad to be here.
All right. Hi, Judy. What drew you to Zion?
Well, I moved here from North Carolina about a year after my husband passed away in order to be closer to my daughter and son-in-law. But knowing that I was coming here, I had started looking online
Really?
at church websites, and I had this desire to be part of a congregation that was inclusive and a place where maybe I could use my gifts. So anyway, I got here at the end of July in 2018. And oh my God, a week later, I came and visited Zion. And my idea originally had been, well, I'll look around, but I never went anywhere else.
Wow, I'm hearing that story a lot. I think that's why do you think that happens?
I just think the way I was welcomed, it just happened that on the first Sunday I came, Pastor Matthew was right by the door at the narthex talking to somebody, but he picked me out right away as someone here visiting. And he was very welcoming, and then I went and found a place to sit, and the people around me all welcomed me and introduced themselves. And that was really pretty neat. And some other people took me to the coffee hour that Sunday. So I got, and I had, you know, in conversation said I was interested in choir. So, of course, somebody introduced me to choir people. So by the time I left that Sunday, I was already making some connections.
Oh, wow. And what other parts of your ministry do you feel you have used here, other than choir?
Being an assisting minister is something that I had done for a long time. And it was just something I just really felt honored in being able to do that.
You're very, very good at it too. I really enjoy it when you are the assisting minister. Is there anything that you do here that you never did at a different church?
Liturgical arts.
Oh, I forgot that. What are liturgical arts?
You know, it's the visual part of expressing our faith. I guess that's the best way I can put it.
I'd say that's a very good way to put it.
So, you know, we change what we put up.
Yeah. And what made you think that would be a good fit for you? I'm just curious.
I guess I always sort of liked the sort of creative idea of it.
Great. Okay. What are your hopes for the next 100 years for Zion?
Well, you know, I would just hope that we grow as an intergenerational faith community.
Yes.
And I guess I'm also hoping that we stay tuned to the needs in our community regarding justice and anything that we can do to speak out as a congregation in the area of justice and diversity, I guess.
Wow. I feel very blessed that you are here, especially after hearing you say all this. It's wonderful.
And I certainly feel blessed being here.
Thank you. I just want to add something into yours, so I'm going to cut and paste. I didn't ask you how you found out about the church.
I was searching for ELCA churches in the area. I think the ELCA had a website that just had, it was like find churches in your zip code or whatever. And I just started going to the closest ones until I found one that I liked, and I stopped here.
And what about the other ones made you continue looking?
No Bells was a big one.
Okay.
I love them. But it was every other one that I went to didn't quite feel as community driven as what I feel Zion is. Felt a lot more uncomfortable to be there almost.
Wow.
Maybe not uncomfortable, but
No.
definitely awkward, so should we say. That and the sermons are fantastic here, so.
They are, indeed. You agree with that?
Yes,
A lot of
definitely.
passion.
Oh, the first Sunday I came when Pastor Bodie started preaching, I was like, wow. You know, I just never experienced anyone who so got into the message and sharing the message.
Wow.
Absolutely on fire with it all.
Really?
Just
Okay.
ready to just go, and so much passion and force in a good way.
Yeah.
Put into,
Force in a good way, yes. I like that.
put into just preaching and being excited for it, you know?
Yeah. I like the way that he includes social justice.
Yes.
Right. It's without a doubt a very common theme, and that's important for somebody who wants to follow Jesus, who is arguably so much about social
Yeah.
justice. And it's
Yes. I think sometimes churches forget that.
They
I
do.
do. Yeah.
And sometimes I know that sometimes there's an element that wants that the preaching to just maybe stick to the gospel or the readings for the day, and think that if you include, you know, social justice ideas, that that you shouldn't do that.
Right.
But that's not what it's about. That's not what I'm.
We're not afraid to hit the uncomfortable subjects, which is something that made me want to stay, at least when I heard. Yeah. Mhm.
I think we all have. I know that I struggle with uncomfortable subjects and how to deal with them. So the fact that Pastor Bodie is ready, willing, and able is very helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you guys.
How have I been blessed by Zion Lutheran Church? At first, that was a hard question. Where do I start? I started coming to Zion even before I was born. So over my 65 years, there have been lots of changes. Some changes included the building itself, leadership, members coming and going, the list goes on. But one thing that has not changed is the love and comfort that was given and felt by me. I'm not saying that everything here was perfect all the time, because it was not. I was accepted and welcomed for being me. This includes times I would cry during service as a baby, fidget in the pews as a young child, or even when my brothers would poke me trying to get me to make noise. This also includes my awkward teen and young adult years. I even have a confession that I slept through many sermons, but of course that was when I was a baby. Give me a few more years and that might happen again. As changes have occurred over the past decades, there will be more changes in the future as we adapt to the ever-changing world. From my personal experiences, I know that change can be hard and may feel almost impossible at times. But with the help of this Zion family, it will be possible. I hope that you also have felt and will feel the same love, comfort, and acceptance that I have felt over all the past years and the future years to come.
Wow. So when would you say was your first year you started here?
1958.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. And we will always remember your mom.
Yes.
Hi, Chance. Chance, what do you like about Zion Lutheran Church?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, what kind of things do you do here at church?
I sing.
I've seen you in the choir. Anything else? Sometimes I'm your teacher and you go to
Sonia.
Sunday school.
Sunday school.
Remember, we're down in the basement. We go to Sunday school. And sometimes do you have that box? Yeah, what have you put in the box before?
I want to put the turtle.
A turtle. Oh my gosh. Did you like our celebration last night?
Yes.
What part did you like the best?
I like the best that thing. That thing on the front.
The front, the screen? Okay. So,
I thought there was a TV and I thought there was a screen.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's the best way we could do it at church, right? We don't have a TV that big. Can you imagine a TV that big?
Yes.
How would that even be possible? What would you like to see more of at Zion Lutheran Church?
I wait to give mommy a hug.
Oh, hugs are the best part of church and every day, aren't they?
Yes.
Did you play the drums at church once?
Other day.
Yeah. Would you like to do more drumming?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Chance, thank you for making this video with me. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay, well, Chance, I am so glad you're here, okay?
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Thank you.
Julia,
Yes.
what do you like about Zion Lutheran Church?
Music class and that we sing together.
Okay, and what do you think you would like to see in the future at church as you grow up?
A swimming pool.
A swimming pool at church?
Yes.
You're silly. Thank you, Julia.
Hey, Frankie, what do you like about Zion Church?
I like that my mom and dad are happy here, and we're also happy here, and the suckers.
And what would you like to see happen in the future at Zion?
I'd like to see having some more plays and having some like summer school. Well, not summer school. Sunday school in summer.
Great, thank you.
This is a day of jubilee. God's gonna build up Zion's walls. God shall set the people free. God's gonna build up Zion's walls.
Hey, Simon, tell me, what do you like about Zion Church?
Okay. I like that there's Sunday school and the summer camp, but I didn't get to go this year.
Will you get to go next year?
Yes.
Great. And what do you want to see happen in the future here?
I wanna see a dance off.
Thank you, Simon.
You're welcome.
Great day, righteous marching, great day. God's gonna build up Zion's walls.
All right, Jorian, what do you like about Zion Lutheran Church?
I like when we do music and we do communion.
Yeah, what do you like about music?
I like when we dance to music for a performance one day.
Oh, you like doing performances?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to see happen in the future, or what do you want more of at church?
I want more time to learn, I want more of that coffee hour.
You like coffee hour when you get to eat with your friends?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
What do
and
you
then we
want
get to
more
play
learning
after.
of? What do you want to learn more about?
I want to learn more about how Jesus died and rose again.
All right.
Great